Hey, this is D-Hop, aka Dweed Hopkins, and I'm here to do another far-fetched theory, which is not really that far-fetched, but it's still could be considered possible and it's a little bit stretched. So it's based on evidence, but it's not completely, whatever, theoretical. Okay, who cares? Continue on. So this one's gonna be about One Punch Man, and it's gonna be about a theory that a lot of people has already done, and I'm not new to the game, but people are still doing it. It's about the secret to Saitama's power. Yeah, you heard it before. But what I'm going to say is I'm going to talk about what has already been said by other people in the webcomic, and I'm going to talk about what another thing, like an extra thing that I think that Saitama has done considering the One Punch Man universe. So first, I'm going to say that think about One Punch Man. Originally, it was supposed to be like a parody series. Because when one first did the webcomic, he was supposed to only do one chapter, and that's it. But people wanted more, so he put another one up. They wanted more, so he put another one up, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one, and eventually became a manga and then a hit anime. So, as you can see, if you watch the anime as the story goes on, in the beginning it's more a parody. It's still in the class or the type or the genre of parody, and over time it begins to become a little bit more serious, have its own story, have its own lore, its own, it basically becomes its own universe, and fully become a fully realized own shonen manga. And example I would give to this another form of media would be Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts originally was a little cute little combination between Final Fantasy characters and Disney with its own little story. But eventually, over time, it eventually got its own lore, its own story, which is very good, confusing, complex, but that's what makes it good, and that's why it's still popular. And that's the main thing, it's the story. And eventually, Kingdom Hearts became its own thing, and this is the story really has nothing to do with Final Fantasy, and more so, it definitely has nothing to do with Disney at all. And this is basically its own universe, and it's still ongoing, and I'm still waiting for 3. We all people who know about Kingdom Hearts know what I'm talking about. But anyways, back to One Punch Man. So considering the fact that One Punch Man has its own universe, and it's not really all a parody, it's still its own story. I'm gonna say that Saitama's power, it was actually a specific formula that Saitama did. Unknowingly, he did that allow him to attain that godlike status, to reach that realm of the gods, to reach that realm of infinite potential or infinite limitless potential. So, according to Saitama's regimen of training, he did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run. He ate 3 meals a day and never used the air conditioner during summer or winter. That's what Saitama said. But what he didn't say, and he most likely forgot to mention, and left out, he was also fighting monsters. He's also fighting monsters along with his training, which increased the intensity even more. So, I said that part of why Saitama has his powers was because he followed a specific formula, and I think that what this means is that there's certain ways you get to things, and this is kind of true in real life too. Like, it's a certain way you have to do something, or a technique you have to use by whatever means, whether it's doing computers, if you fucking martial arts, or writing an essay, playing a video game, whatever, anything in our world. So I think, and it's like you can't really get to the past the certain point or a goal or achieve a certain specific thing without that without that precise formula or that certain way of doing things. Because it's always like everybody has it's always like a different interpretations or different ways of going about it. But it's always that one thing or a few things that you have to get through. Specifically, you have to follow in order to get to your ultimate goal or that same goal. And I think in the One Punch Man universe, it's kind of like that. Then with the powers, and so what I'm gonna say is that we has been introduced in the webcomic of the realm of the gods. As we know, the one of the monsters from the Monster Association, if you have read the webcomic, by the way, the spoilers. So Homer's Emperor, he had the light. He had light powers with his. He has the ability to control these light spears and shoot out light lasers and all that crap. And he claimed he got it from this omnipotent being, which he called God, which is apparently most likely a malevolent being, because when we see him, he looks like an old, frivolous version of a human being. And when this being that only the homeless emperor could see, when he appears, he kills him, the homeless emperor, and he turns to dust and skulls or whatever. So we were introduced into these gods, and a lot of people made theories about that too. So what I'm trying to say is that these spiritual beings or interdimensional beings that exist on realms, whereas the human realm, the humans' logic are not able to be applied to that realm. Whereas we're not able to see it, or more so understand it. So, considering this might mean that there are beings that govern the universe, and there are rules and regulations in the universe, and one of these rules and regulations is concerning human beings or other beings attain powers beyond their natural growth limit. Because according to Dr. Genos, if you go back to I think episode 3, episode 4, whatever of the anime, or you go back to the manga, webcomic, whatever, by whatever means, Dr. Genos said that God has given every single being or every single creature a limit, like a deadline of growth, where in order for them not to become too powerful, and to keep the balance in the universe, whatever. It basically to stay in their place. And this is always a rule and a regulation that is set by God. So, considering this, Saitama in the webcomic has said that he removed that limiter, thus giving access to limitless potential. Now, don't confuse limitless potential with limitless power. Limitless power will mean that Saitama, if he really wants to, he can freaking destroy the entire universe with a punch. Saitama, as far as we know, can't do that. Limitless potential is not being limitless. Limitless potential is basically the potential to continue growing without any bar. There's no bars anymore. You can just keep on. There's no bars. You keep on ascending and ascending and ascending. So, with that said, I think Saitama, with the specific training, but simple but disciplined training routine he did, he somehow unconsciously or subconsciously did it a certain way with a certain pattern and went through certain emotions during that time, that he kind of like in a way solved a mathematical formula and found the right solution, and as a result he got his godlike strength. And with the combination of doing this specific discipline and his strong desire to become strong, become a hero, to fight against other villains, as he saw on TV, as I saw other heroes doing on TV when he was a child, that strong desire combined with the specific discipline, he kind of like Saitama basically reached his own version of enlightenment, and that's another thing I want to talk about too. But I get to that later. So to Saitama, maybe there was a one like a I guess I don't know, like a golden like a super secret, like I guess you can call that like super secret knowledge, or like whatever that, okay, like knowledge or routine or formula that the God of the One Punch Man universe, that the God had installed like in the universe itself, and I would think that he would do this, or he or she, whatever, this entity, this God entity, not the one that Homer's Empress spoke of, but the one that Dr. Geno spoke of, that almost as if that only like the chosen ones, or the ones who can like overstand or see or somehow tap into that power, or not power per se, but like tap deep into themselves, or to find or subconsciously get that secret formula, and they would get, thus therefore if they're able to do that, they would get this ultimate power. Yeah, I know this is kind of, it's crazy, but that's why this is a far-fetched theory. So I think Saitama, when he was doing his exercise, he basically stumbled upon or discovered something he never was intending to discover. Because like human beings, as we evolve, we always discovering something. But really, if you think about it, when we evolve and advance our technologies, our talents, our culture, and everything, we're not really necessarily creating something new. We are, but in a way, you can also think of it as we're discovering things that's hidden deep, or discovering things about nature itself. And it's almost like it's a riddle that we're slowly unwinding over time, like a riddle to the universe. We slowly unwinding and solve it over time about things that we never would have known of before. And that's how that's one of the many ways how we progress and evolve, and we move beyond the previous limitations set by us by the previous generations. So with this said, I'm going to lead into another series, Hunter x Hunter, and another character who did a training similar to what Saitama did, and that's probably like one parried in other shonen characters with Saitama's training. But the character I'm talking about is Isaac Netero from Hunter x Hunter. As we know, Isaac, what he did was he went out to nature and did 10,000 punches a day with his of course using Nen. And it would take him, at first when he started off, it took him 18 hours, and then over time the time shortened, and then he had more time in prayer. So he practiced his punches and prayed, and eventually his punches he was able to do in an hour, and he had enough time for prayer and meditation, and then he reached enlightenment. He came back to this old dojo. He did the punch, and he broke the sound barrier, and that's when he became the legend of the legendary martial artist. So, Isaac Netero, I'm gonna, if you go back to his fight with Miriam, there's a lot of ideological, psychological stuff dealing with that fight, as well as physical, and they all tie together. But because they was going at it not just physically but mentally, with each of their own ideals. Now, Isaac Netero, a lot of people like to mention the one phrase he said at the end before he stuck his hand in his heart and activated that nuke inside his chest. He told Miriam, this is what he told Miriam. He said that, Miriam, you have absolutely no idea of humanity's infinite potential for evolution, or something along those lines. I'm not sure the exact thing. I'm not a computer, so I don't memorize exact words. But it's the same. It's the same. Similar to along those lines. Enough said. But that's what everybody like to say. But I noticed that I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But nobody talks about. Well, okay, I shouldn't say that. But me personally, I haven't heard or saw a video where people mention his other phrase he said. It was when he was fighting Miriam, and then Miriam thought he had Netero trapped, whereas he took off his left arm, and he thought, yeah, you only need two of those hands to pray, or to summon that the thousand Buddha God arm thing, the golden God thing, and Netero said, he thought I'm gonna pray one hand, and when he mentioned that, he quoted, prayer is about. So he said something about prayer is like manifesting emotions, and if you concentrate on a certain emotion, and if it's like directed, or if it's summoned or cultivated into the right form, then the emotions can be fully manifested. And this is almost exactly what Punch Man, one of the main things what Punch Man stories is about. People who have such strong emotions and desires and wills that they work hard towards their goals or those desires, and those desires become a reality. Those emotions actually manifest. And Netero said that only with the correct form you can manifest those emotions, and that's why Netero only needed one hand. He said, as long as you have the correct form in the heart. Oh yeah, that's okay. I remember now. He also said that. He also said that meditation is about the heart, and with the correct form, you can manifest the emotions that develop within the heart. So, one of the most important words of that phrase is form. Now, the reason why I said form is like it's almost as if it's natural saying only with the it's almost like I'm going back to math, only with the correct formula or the correct technique or the right steps you can get to a certain problem and certain solutions depending on what type of math you're talking about, or what type of algebra, geometry, trigonometry, whatever. And by the way, I'm not a mathematician. I'm just trying to use math as an example, or to better explain my far-fetched theory. So, Saitama, basically, the conclusion I'm trying to make is Saitama probably unknowingly manifests emotions through the right form, and that was his training regimen. And then its training regimen is simple and basic, and anybody can do it. And not well, anybody can do it, but for average people, if you try to do that, you'll probably die or severely hurt yourself. But anybody has the capability of trying that, at least attempted it. And it's very simple, but specific and it's disciplined. And it's like you gotta do this, and that, but you can't stop. You have to eat 3 meals a day, and you can't turn the air conditioner, and that's it. It's simple, but it's like a formula. And Saitama could have like unlocked the formula or whatever that the guy in the One Punch Man universe um put into, like, I don't know, metaphysically in existence, whatever that human beings can access with their minds and the strong emotions. And Saitama somehow was able to tap into that knowledge, I guess so, subconsciously, and therefore that even increased or further manifested his strong desire to become a strong hero, and more specifically a hero that can punch any scum with one punch. So with that said, I'm thinking that maybe one got that idea from Netero, like specifically from that one fight with Netero and Miriam in Hunter x Hunter. So speaking of like certain disciplines, I also when I first watched One Punch Man and saw Saitama's the episode 3 was Saitama explains power. At first I thought it was just for comedy reasons, but over time, after watching the series and reviewing other theories, it reminded me of martial arts. In martial arts, the ancient masters, like back in the day, they would do things such as stay in a horse stance 3 to 5 hours a day for a specific amount of time, 3 years, like Saitama did for 3 years, and they would gain their intentions was to gain eternal force or chi, whatever. But after doing it for 3 years, every single day, staying like one stance or doing one focus on one technique, specifically the horse stance, they would gain like a credible amount of inner strength and a immovable roots, whereas no one or no thing can move them. And so, with that said, one probably got ideas from a lot from, of course, other anime like Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball Z, and the likes, but also from ancient philosophies or ancient religions or philosophies, more so regarding martial arts and Buddhism and Hinduism. And that's what reminded me of. Now that's why I said earlier in the video that Saitama, he like reached his own version of enlightenment because he found basically the secret formula. Yeah, the secret formula, Kung Fu Panda reference, and he achieved his power. Now, of course, like, okay, if anybody just did the training routine without the desire or to become a hero, it probably wouldn't work. The desire to become a hero was the catalyst for that, but by that specific training routine was like the not the manifestation, but the engine or the whatever. I'm gonna say, okay, the engine or yeah, the tool. There we go. The tool or to manifest that emotion, this emotional desire into the physical world, or to manifest it into physical reality. Yeah, that's a lot I said. So let's see. Think of those. So in the current right now, as we know of, Saitama, he achieved his power through multiple aspects, and that was by A, moving his limiter, B, with his strong desire to become a strong hero, C, um, uh, by actually going out and trying to become a hero by fighting other monsters like Garwa did, and getting stronger every time his eyes would light up with that fire in his eye. And D, I would say his personality. Saitama is a very like simple, carefree type of dude. He just goes with the flow. He doesn't really has any alternative motives like Garwa did. And I'm not gonna go deep into that. And I don't is that's another video, or you can watch other people talk about Garwa and Saitama or whatever. But his personality, I wouldn't say it's pure, yeah, but not really. It's more so Saitama's detached from the world. He's different from everybody else, and it's probably another reason why he was able to find this secret formula. Well, not really quotations, but tap into this secret formula, whereas he was able to achieve unlimited potential. And that's another thing I'm going to shortly touch upon. To be honest, it could be a whole nother video. I probably will. I probably not. But Saitama's personality, he that's probably a big aspect, because in the One Punch Man universe, when it comes to achieving power, it's not like Dragon Ball Z where you have to train for 20 hours a day in a hyperbolic time chamber and become Super Saiyan 2. It's more like a spiritual thing based off one's goals, one's emotions, one's personality, and how they view life. Basically, one's own self-perception. And what path, or specifically, not just what path they walked on, but they walked to achieve. They walk in order to achieve that goal, but how they walk that path. So, yeah. And we see Saitama, as he was training to become a hero, he was overcoming certain emotions as a human that and these emotions is the things that really do hold back real humans in real life. Embarrassment, fear, anger, I keep going, and when he overcome those things, because in order to become something, or to become something, you have to overcome something first. And Saitama has to overcome those emotions and of life, and graduate from like fear of death, anger, embarrassment, and the likes of that, in order to fully transform into this almighty being, this almighty power. So that's possibly probably the secret formula too. The secret formula that Saitama unconsciously tapped into, that the God of the One Punch Man universe is still in the universe itself. So that's theory one of Saitama. It took a long time to explain it, and I hope you was able to grasp what I'm talking about. To be honest, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I do, but like I'm still confused, and that's why it's just I'm naming these far-fetched theories. It's me just throwing crazy ideas out there. So I'm just gonna conclude off of that. That's pretty much it. So this is oh yeah, another thing. I'm probably gonna make another video about SAITAMA'S power because there's many other theories you can make off of that, and I'm most likely will or will not elaborate. But until then, this is D Hop, the Weed Hop Hopkins, and I'm signing out. That's it.